Hi there, you're once again welcome to my channel. This is Seven. Thank you for coming back, returning subscriber, and you're welcome new viewers to my channel. So like we've been doing in previous videos, we are continuing with our GRE lessons, and today we are looking at another aspect of the verbal section, that is sentence equivalence. So we hope that this video will help you to excel in your sentence equivalence questions in the GRE. So sentence equivalence questions make up approximately 20% of the questions in any individual verbal section. There are usually 4 sentence equivalent questions in each verbal section. These questions are similar to test completion questions, as both require test takers to select the answer choice that best completes the intended meaning of a given sentence. However, unlike test completion sentences, sentence equivalence questions always have 1 blank and 6 answer choices, and you must correctly select 2 answer choices to get credit for the question. So it looks similar as the test completion because you are all filling the blanks. But this one has 2 words that you are going to choose to fill the blank, 2 words that best complete. So there's a cautionary tale. So the cautionary tale is that a common mistake that test takers make is expecting answer choices that produce completed sentences that are alike in meaning to be synonyms. So because you are looking for 2 words, you are bent on looking for synonyms. But it's not necessarily that the words for the blank are going to be synonyms. It's not necessarily that they're going to be synonyms. So the first way they trick test takers is by including a pair of synonyms in the answer choice that do not fit the meaning of the sentence as a whole. Because you are choosing 2 and you are just looking for synonyms, they will just do that so that you would get it wrong per se. Then the second way writers trick test takers is by ensuring that the 2 correct answer choices are not synonyms at all. So it is not always the case though, but because you are bent on looking for synonyms, that's why it is as such. Then it is sentence equivalence, not word equivalence. It is sentence equivalence, not word equivalence. So let's look at this example to prove the cautionary tale. So this question: unconventional political ideology is considered existing mainstream political ideology until the new ideas gather enough evidence and support to be adopted by or replace existing ideologies. Unconventional political ideology is considered existing mainstream political ideology until the new ideas gather enough evidence and support to be adopted by or replace existing ideologies. So just like the test completion, find a clue, come up with your own word, then you can compare. So you just want to look at, so I'm just moving as such. So the correct answer is B and C. That is inconsequential to and deviant from. Inconsequential to and deviant from. Even though inconsequential to and deviant from are not even near synonyms. They are not near synonyms. So they are warning you on synonyms. So this is just as such. So it's not necessarily that all the time they will not be synonyms. You might get synonyms as answers. But this is just to warn you so that you just are not focused on looking for synonyms. Inconsequential to is supported by the fact that the unconventional political ideology has yet to gather enough support to replace existing ideologies. Has yet to gather, to replace. Then deviant from is supported by the fact that the new ideology has yet to be adopted by existing ideologies. So this is just to help us see how the cautionary tale plays. That is not yet, or it's not always that it is synonyms. So like I said, just like the test completion, sentence equivalence works the same way. You find clue and transition words. So you ask yourself who or what the blank is describing. What else gives insight in that person or thing? You come up with your own word. Don't look at the answers, come up with your own word. Then after you have done that, you compare your answer that you have come up with the multiple choice answers they give you. So correct, wrong, question mark, like we did in the test completion. So if you are lost, it means that you didn't watch the test completion video. Go back and go and watch it. Yes. So let's look at this example. Looking at using the approach that we know, coming up with our own word, then comparing after you have found the clear and transition word in the sentence. So anthropologists contend that the ancient Mesopotamians switched from grain production to barley after excessive irrigation and salt accumulation made the soil grains. Anthropologists contend that the ancient Mesopotamians switched from grain production to barley after excessive irrigation and salt accumulation made the soil grains. So they switched, meaning that the grain production was doing something to the soil. So they have to switch to barley after excessive irrigation and salt accumulation. So you can come up maybe with bad for. So made the soil bad for grains. That's why they switch to barley. So after you have come up with bad for, you compare that to indifferent to, inhospitable to, unsuitable for, acrimonious to, benignant to, inured to. Then you look at that as such. So like I said, the same approach as text completion. So comparing and looking for clear transition words, you come up with your own word. So like I came up with bad for, so they are also coming up with bad for. So afterwards, then you compare that with the words there. So choice A, indifferent to, does not mean something bad for, so eliminate it. Choice B, inhospitable to, is a good match. Inhospitable to grains, so it's a good match for bad for. Because if the soil was inhospitable to grain, it would explain why ancient Mesopotamians switched from grain production to barley. Put a check mark to B. Choice C, unsuitable for, is also a good match for bad for, as it would explain why ancient Mesopotamians switched from grain production to barley production. So put another check mark to see. Don't stop evaluating answer choices just because you found two that match your word. Look at the remaining answer choices in case another answer choice also matches. If that is the case, then you would need to reevaluate your interpretation of the sentence or determine which words produce sentences that are closest in meaning. Choice D, acrimonious to, may be a word that you are unsure about, so put a question mark to it. If you happen to know that acrimonious means angry or bitter, then you'd eliminate that choice as not quite matching bad for. Choice E, benignant to, may also be a word you are unsure about, so put a question mark next to it as well. Choice F, inured to, is not a good match for bad for, as inured means to grow accustomed to something, so eliminate it. You have two answer choices with check marks next to them, two choices with question marks next to them, and two choices that are eliminated. Select the two answer choices with check marks next to them, which is the correct answer. That is inhospitable to and unsuitable for, as that. So using the same approach as the text completion, look for clear and transition words, come up with your own word. You compare with the words that you were given, then you are good to go. So just like we did for test completion, this one too, there are some questions that we need to evaluate ourselves and come up with the answers. So I'll put the correct answers in the description, but these ones, they are there for you to look at the answers, not like the test completion that they were not there, just helping you to come up with your own word. So as at now, you are matured. You are not showing any pure characteristics. Let me use the GRE word. You are not showing any pure characteristics. You are matured. You have gone through not looking at the words from test completion. So right now, they are there for you to look at them, but just exercise self-control and not look at the answers. Come up with your own word first, then match it. So the answers will be there for you to choose and compare what you did. So go through question 1 to 5 on your own and see how the performance you compare your answers to the answers in the description. I know you are going to do a great job. So this also is meant on helping us. So like we saw positive and negative words, root words help us to come up with sort of an idea when we don't know meanings of words. So the root word will let you know, oh, okay, this word, it means this or that. That you may not know the exact meaning, but you know that it has the root word, so it will mean something as such. So root words, so B-E-N or B-E-N-E means good. So benefit, benefit, benefactor, benediction, benefit, benefactor, benediction. Maybe you may not know the exact meaning of benefactor or benediction, but you know that it has something to do with good. So if the blank is wanting something bad, of course, you are not going to choose benediction as an answer or benefactor as an answer. I don't know the exact meaning though, but you know that it has something to do with that. Then continuing, mal or M-A-L-E, that is bad. So malign, you may not know the meaning of malign, but you know that because of it has the root word M-A-L, it means bad. Malfeasance, you may not know the meaning, but because of the root word. So this helps you to do elimination of words. So you know that the word for the blank is something good. So malfeasance, more practice means things bad. So you will not choose malfeasance as an answer. So you eliminate it. Then like you have benediction, malediction. You don't know the meaning of malediction, I know. So malediction, because of the root word, you know that it means something bad. Then anthropo, having to do with humankind, anthropology, philanthropy, anthropocentric, size, side, strike, kill, or cut, incisive, circumcise, homicide, insecticide, pesticide, suicide. So you know that it has meaning to do with kill. Then gen, origin, kind or type, genesis, generate, genus, homogeneous. So it helps you as such. Morpho, form or shape, morphology, amorphous, metamorphosis, vol or volley, will or intention, volunteer, voluntary, volition. So you don't know the exact meaning of volition, but you know that it has something to do with the will or intention. So root words help us to eliminate some words and to choose some words as the correct answers, because you know that it has something to do with this and the sentence is in line with that. Then I guess this will be the answer. So the process of elimination, just like that of the test completion, you focus on the words you know. So if you know the word, you can either eliminate it or choose that as the correct answer. Then never talk yourself into picking a word you've already eliminated. So once you knew the meaning of the word and you've eliminated it, don't go back to choose that word. Then never eliminate a word you don't know. If you don't know the word, don't eliminate it. Don't eliminate it. Don't trust your ears. So it may sound nice, but not the word for the blank. Don't choose that. Then your word that you have compared to may not sound nice, but because you have compared to it and it matches, that is your word. Don't trust your. Then don't forget to mark and move on. If you're not getting the correct answer, out of the ones that you have, make an educational guess, choose some, then mark and move on. If you get a chance to come back, you look at it with a second eye from another perspective. Maybe reading, you see something that you didn't see when you were reading it for the first time, then it will help you choose the answer as such. Then positive and negative words, just like in the test completion we saw. So because the blank is wanting a positive word, you can eliminate a negative word. But there are words that do not sound like their tonation or their pronunciation. 6 words. So you may think that, hey, this word sounds like a negative word, but it may not be a negative word. So don't just eliminate words because of their sounds that, oh, this one sounds too negative. So 6 words are traps. Just know that they may sound negative, but it is a positive word. So don't just use tonation. Just maybe what you recall. Okay, I've learned this word before. I don't know. I've forgotten the exam name, but I think when I was learning it, it's easier to classify a word. If you see a word, it's easier to classify it into positive and negative than cramping the meaning into your head. But once you see a word, it's easier to say positive or negative than to cramp it into your head. As such, synonym and no synonym. One strategy is to look over the answer choice for synonym pairs and choose one of these pairs for the answer. So definitely the words will be having something to do with themselves. So they would either be synonyms. So if you look for, you can group the answers into synonyms and no synonyms. So if you group them into synonyms, okay, so this word, yes. Okay, put a clue, it matches my word. Okay, then these two will be my answer. So grouping them into that. But just be on the question, like we said, the cautionary table. It may not necessarily be synonyms. So just don't fall trap, but it would sometimes be synonyms because you're looking for 2 words. So like we did this one to try your hands on it. It's just for you to try your hands on it. About 5 questions. Try your hands on it and let's see how you're performing. The answers will be in the description for you to compare answers to see how you're performing. I know you are good and you are getting the answers correct. So going through this is also the approach, what you need to know and the basics for tackling every sentence equivalence question they are going to see on the GRE. I hope this is going to help you in your endeavor for your GRE to answer all sentence equivalence questions you are going to come up with. So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do that and hit on the notification bell and like the videos as well. See you in our next video, which you are going to do reading comprehension. Peace out.